What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today, and we are back finally with a bit more AOR Oceania F2 action here. We're here for round number 7 here at the Belgium Grand Prix. Again, apologies for the lateness of the video. Work's just been chaos recently, so I am back. Thank God for that. And of course, AOR is also sponsored by Elgato Gaming and of course Hype Energy Drinks. If you're not hyped, then get hyped with Hype Energy Drinks. You'll be able to see the results from Season 1 on the top right. Here's a reminder of the championship standings. Now, this is going to be the last round before the week break that AOR have. So you can see there, 22-point lead Zombie has over Laggy, who's not here this weekend. Owens and myself there in P3 and 4. Ferrari have a slender 8-point lead over Renault in the Constructors' Championship, so it did tighten up a little bit at the last round in Hungary. So, yeah, there's, like I said, the results from Season 1. I got a bit lucky, let's just put it that way. Last season with the unfortunate crash of Laggy with a few laps to go, which gave me the win with my teammate and Owens on the pony. But let's get straight into the qualifying action. So here we are for qualifying around Belgium. Nearly lose it out the rear, coming out of the pit lane, which I actually did that while I was practicing in the lead up to this as well, so which was very awkward, and you'll be able to see that was actually Penske running off there at 13 and 14. So I'm going to be doing the first run here, and actually going to be doing the qualifying comparison with DLG Gamble today, and I'll explain later on why this first run was the best of them, not the second run. So here we go, straight down the front straight here, coming into turn 1, back about the 75-metre mark. Gamble takes a lot more curve than I do into turn 1, but I take a lot more exit curve coming out of it. Nice drive coming through in now into the famous Eau Rouge section. You've got to take this flat. Full of commitment through here. Take it perfectly through there. It is fine conditions as well, I should point out, but DRS open. Pretty even so far, coming down the Keppel Straight. Now they're going to size up into turn 7 and into Lacombe. Probably Gamble taking a lot more curve than I did. I try to avoid the curve to try not to spin out during the lap anyway, but now coming into turn 10. Take a nice and tight. I take a nice tighter line compared to Gamble, who takes this sort of in-out sort of action there. Now through the corner with no name. Running a little bit wide there. Now into the famous P1 of turn 12. You can sort of take this flat if you can. I don't really take it flat. I can't really commit to that, but Gamble, I think, does, and you'll be able to see here now that Gamble has the effective lead over myself at the current stage in qualifying, but we can hopefully make up a bit of time. Gamble, again, using a lot more curve compared to me. I do take a lot more curve coming into turn 14, I should say. Now 15 and into 16. Have a nice line through here. Now I've got to size up this long straight through Blanchimont we go. Gamble's still got a comfortable lead, I think, at this stage in the qualifying comparison. Nice run through 18. Now sizing up the bus stop chicane here at 19 and 20. Usually I take second gear here. Gamble uses third, as you can see there, to try and avoid any wheel spin, but you've got to get it through the line. And you can see there, that's how much it would cost me there with me qualifying in P4 on a 144.049. And Gamble was a second place at a 143.921. So, yeah, not much in it between the two of us there. So, like I said, I will explain a little bit later on what actually happened during my second run, because I was hoping to go a little bit quicker than the 144s, even in the practice that I was doing. I was setting into the 143s, which I've never ever done around Belgium ever. So, well, in only Grand Prix mode, not this side of it anyway. But anyway, back into the pit lane we go. Yeah, nothing really doing much. There's my teammate coming in at the same time as me. We work alike, us two. But yeah, you can see now just taking out the remaining fuel. You can only just get away with nearly a tank load of fuel. You don't have much left, so you pretty much only have one run left. So basically went back out again. And this is now the second run, trying to get a good run now. Now I did say I would explain it a bit late during this lap anyway, but again, nice and tight through here. Nearly taking exactly what Gamble did in the qualifying comparison, which was taken from his second lap, I will point out. So as yellow flags down there around in the corner of no name, but You see they're just a tiny bit up at sector 1. Only not by much, by like a hundredth really. But you see coming through turn 10, we have a massive lot of understeer there, and that cost me a lot of time, which I was pretty disgusted about, if I'm completely honest. So I decided to continue on through the lap here. Nearly take it flat through P1, lose the rear end a little bit, which is not going to help my cause at all. But now coming through 13 and 14. Took up 6th gear, went very, very wide, and that's pretty much, well, I think the lap's ruined anyway as we come through sector 2 now. I've just lost a heap of time. I thought there's no way in hell I'm going to recover from this. So, yeah, that was the qualifying session done. Now, it's a replay for both DJ Penske with Penske and Zombie.
You guys hit me. You guys hit me. That's not cool, guys.
Nearly an exact replica of what happened with both Preet and R8. And this will explain what happened to Penske. Nice Super Mario effects there. And hopefully my video does not get copyrighted because of that. But that explains why he had his little spin off there. But here's another moment for Penske rounding outside of my teammate. But he probably takes too much curb. Can't really hold it. And yeah, that's... Thankfully, it wasn't a lot of damage, but I will say Penske loves his NASCAR, let's be honest.
Can we say it? Have you ever? No,
I mean, what more could I say, really? Here's Owens, my teammate. Now, he lost out as well, coming through P1, trying to take it flat. Nearly did it perfectly, but unfortunately, not great for Owens. He's a bit down the order, but this is also... should point out that LRT chicane, which is Preet, did make a return to AOR for this weekend as well. You see there, he's being held up massively there by, is that Matt? And I think possibly Matt was on a lap as well, so I think the wording we got from Preet was he was up by about 6/10, so he pretty much would have smashed us anyway. But there's the results on the screen. So LRT chicane got pole, currently in P4. I felt good about the race pace, but it's time to go racing here at the Belgian Grand Prix. All right, welcome to the grid here for the Belgian Grand Prix. As you can see, just going through the strategy now, the one stop is pretty much the norm around here, but you can be able to see there is a possibility of some rain later in the race, which could spice things up a little bit, which is going to be very, very interesting. But here we go, round 8 of the AOR Championship, the last before the week. Break 5 red lights. Let's do it around Spa, and it's a pretty good start. Got Mitchie's on board on the top right as well, coming into turn 1 there. As you go able to see, Mitchie actually got a pretty good start here, as you go able to see through there. Fortunately for me, he was actually red Xing on my screen, and Gamble, I don't think, had the greatest of runs through turn 1 as well, which put him under a lot of pressure here, but had to back out of it, going back into 7th gear there. So now pretty much sizing it up through the Kemmel Straight now. As now our championship leaders out of this race early on. That's going to be disastrous, and you can see Mitchie, I think, realises now that this might be affecting some people's races, so he's just pulled to the side so he doesn't get caught up in any drama with lag incidents. So you see Gamble, big lock up there into turn 10. Doesn't feel quite comfortable, I don't think, at this stage. You can see coming through to turn 11. Still hanging on behind him at this stage, but wowee, championship leader already out of this race. And you can see now Gamble really, really losing the rear end coming through P1. So he's really starting to struggle through here. Now coming through 13, he gets really tailwood. I had to really back out of it there, and off the road he goes. So thankfully managed to avoid any damage with that, but up into P3 we go, and into lap 2 we go now, and now our R8 is out of this race. So that's 2 casualties so far here around Belgium, but now coming through to Kemmel Straight, putting been under a lot of pressure here from Exodona, who's actually on the super soft tyres. So I was actually really surprised with how much pace he's got. Well, I thought my pace was okay relative to him, but now coming on to start lap 3 now, yeah, nothing really happened for much of that. Just normal things into turn 1, just probably managing the tyres a little bit. I think a few guys may have pitted a little earlier on that lap 4, but now you can see now, actually I was going to mention, we were gaining a little bit on the sly, but you can see coming on the lap 5, we can see the slide in the distance. LRT chicane starting to pull away a little bit now, so starting to put a bit more pressure as now DT becomes the 3rd casualty in only 5 laps to be out of this race as well. So let's have a look on board with Owens, my teammate. 5 red lights and away we go. Nice start from the Sly actually. He got a nice start. Had a gamble, was battling with chicane. You can see Mitchie coming like a flying rocket through there, even with the red X as well. So he was lagging massively through here, and Owens is taking a nice course lead behind me. Like I said, had to roll out of it coming through there, but he probably will be put under attack straight away from Exodona, who we all know is well known for his lag. You can see battling, and I think he's just backed out of it a little bit to avoid any incidents. I don't know whether he was involved in lag as well, but then we're going to have a look at some side-by-side. This is on board with Zombie on the right and DT on the left. Now these two were actually close to each other when Zombie was out of this race. I don't think they initiated it, but neutral for Zombie there. That was, I don't think that's ideal for him, but you can see that was battling with, I think that's Formula Dragster in the Force India, but now coming through Eau Rouge, now side by side. DT nearly had to come out of it there. The Formula Dragster way too hot, and Zombie just so unfortunate there. It didn't help his cause, but certainly helped mine and Owen's cause especially. But now Penske and Captain Farah's on boards now. We're getting a little touch there into turn 1 there for the captain. Now sizing up into Eau Rouge we go with these two. I think Penske's just going to go through there. I think Captain putting a little bit under pressure from R8. They're going very, very wide there. Now that happened right in front of them, and the captain did get a illegal overtake, so he had to actually let Penske go back into position there. So now slots into I think it's P9 and P10, I think from memory. Already got the warning already, but there was also another incident as well with Conrod, Straight and Spagbowl. Now fortunately Frizy was lagging all over the shop, and yeah, Conrod's captain in the wall. Spagbowl unfortunately got front wing damage, but now Mrs. Owens coming through Puan. Can't really take it flat through there during the race, but just see how close the DLG Gamble got to him there, and that's an easy spot for Owens up into P5. Now back we go with Penske. Still putting DT under a bit of pressure. Didn't have a great run coming through Puan, but now he's got the move done around the outside. You can see someone still lagging. That's possibly Owens, but now there's DLG Gamble coming right out on track, and Penske not mucking around. Up the inside he goes and gets P6. Nice move there. But now I'm a bit further back. Mitchie carrying on from what happened earlier, and that's Frizy having maybe a bit of a moment there, or maybe just getting out of everybody's way. I'm not really sure, but now sizing up Conrad here, coming through 14, 15. Now Conrad goes very wide, and probably be why he's got no front wing. So now he's targeting Formula Dragster next to it. I don't believe he's got a front wing either, so it's pretty easy pickings for Mitchie there. And now this incident happened earlier on, which was taken to the stewards with R8 and Captain Farah. Now you can see Captain just squeezes R8 out a little bit, and fortunately sends R8 straight into the wall. He's got no front wing. But R8 did try to get going again, and Captain's already gone off at the bus stop chicane there, so but R8 just tried to get going there, but might have got onto the power a little bit too much, and that explains why he's out of the race. Yeah, he's just had no luck at the moment, has R8, but cutting on lap 2. Captain Farrell will go for a big dive bomb there on Formula Dragster. Didn't really work out. Copped a 5-second stop-go penalty for his trouble. he let him back through, and I think, I'm not sure whether he's letting Conrods through here or not, but this makes it easy there, and back into P15, the last of the runners. I think that's, I'm not sure exactly who that was coming out of the pits, but this is what happened to DT.
Are you all right? Engine off, engine off.
Yeah, you can say that's probably a little bit embarrassing, but I can guarantee you I think some of us have actually done that there, but there's a nice glitchy tyre barrier there off to the right. That was the first one of the glitchy tyre barriers during this race, as they're going very wide there coming out of 16, I should say. You can see catching up to the slide, and actually the leaders do pit, so now the goal here was to get to about end of lap 6 and pit, so I'll continue on. My teammates come in as well, so a few guys have actually come in. So now the time was pretty much to push. Still got Exodona behind, who have gapped a little bit. And yeah, there comes Owens for his one and only pit stop. I think most of the other guys are doing the same. Soft tyres on, and away he goes. And back we go. Goal here was pretty much to just try and push and see whether we could get an overcut, especially on the slide. I think it was probably going to be a bit of a long shot for LRT chicane, but you see that's Spagbold just getting out of the road there. Being a good guy he is. He's now a lapped car, I should say, so just pull out of the way of Puon and let me by here, and just have a little slide coming out of at turn 18. I knew the tyres were starting to wear out a little bit, so I've pretty much stuck the third gear through here. They're trying to avoid the wall that DT's already hit into the pit lane. And here we go, straight in and bang on the speed limit and in for the one and only stop. Now, this is going to be interesting where we pop out compared to LRT chicane and the slide. Soft tyres on and away we go. We're pretty much the only guy in the pit lane, I think. Don't think anybody else came in unless I'm mistaken. But I think LRT chicane's just already gone past. We come out of the pits. He's already gone, but coming out of it, here comes the slice, and we've gained up a heap of time on the slide coming out of the pits, and we've got one lap fresher tyres compared to him. So pretty much I said this was my chance to try and get the slide. Now coming through to Kemmel Straight here, I knew, but I didn't actually realise DRS was going to be available, so took full advantage of it using Reg Mix as well. Got plenty of it on board. I had it going around the outside. He maybe work for it, don't you worry, but now finally go up into, well, it's P4 for now, but will be effective P2 once the other top 3, I think, that haven't stopped yet will come in. So that was some great battling all around. Now Mitchie's in lap 7. Oh, sorry, might be the start of lap 7, I should say, my bad. But he's on to the soft tyres as well. Now, Frizy did lead the session. Unfortunately, I believe he had a power glitch at his house, so bit of a real shame there for Frizy, which is, yeah, so fortunately he couldn't take part. And now we've lost Spagbowl, who's out of this race. He looks like he's hit the barrier possibly out of turn 16, and right on cue, there he is. And there's a wheel on the track as well, so he's left a bit of debris around this circuit, so that's his race done and dusted. Here's Penske. He's taken those tyres 7 odd laps, so pretty impressive effort. Then onto the softs he goes, and out he goes to the pit lane. Does hit the pit lane exit out, coming out as well, so he does pop in P7, I think, effectively. But now the goal here, trying to set a fastest lap time. We did go purple a little bit there in sector 1. As trying to set personal best sectors all around. I don't think the P in the sector 1 was the fastest, as actually there was the second glitchy tyre barrier. I did say there was going to be another one, so that was the 2. But yeah, gap was sort of close. I thought it was sense maybe a chance of maybe gaining a bit of time to LRT chicane, but he did set the fastest lap at the end of lap 8 anyway, with a 147.8. We set a 148. That was actually my second warning coming up Eau Rouge. I was just getting updates constantly from Jeff, and it was only a 10th really I was losing, so not too much between the two of us here. We'll point out that Chicane does use ABS, or one of the assists, I think. So there's Penske, he's in the wall. Possibly got too much curb coming out of 10. That's paid his day of getting maybe some points in the top 10 especially, but now coming under lap 10. Really just trying to set personal best. I felt maybe a 147 was a possibility around this track, but I just kept setting 148s. Lowish 148s especially. It was nothing between us really. It was a 148.202, I think, not much. Which only quickened it by a little bit. So is Penske back in. So he's putting on the super soft tyres. Should be able to get those home. Whether he'll be able to make some ground up from here on in, we'll wait and see. Away he goes, and a new front wing as well. But he should have a bit of clean air as well into P11 for him. And now back to our point of view. I did get a weird strategy change, so I should come on to intermediates, I think, a bit later on in the race. I mean, Jeff being Jeff, he does bring up some weird strategies as well, but now we lost Penske on lap 12. So that's basically no championship points for Renault around this entire track. So this is going to help Ferrari especially. Here's my teammate coming through Pouon, and that's the Sly running wide. Oh, it's got the curb again, I think. Somehow did magnificent wheel work there to only manage to lose one spot. But here's what happened with Penske. Sideways coming through Eau Rouge. Yeah, there's definitely a bit of swear words there throughout that clip there. I seriously don't know how he gets these the clips from other sporting events. It's just very weird anyway. But wet purple in sector 1, I should say. Matt sets the fastest lap on lap 14. He's making sure that Preet didn't actually get the fastest lap of the race because he was pretty damn quick all weekend. But there's Frizzy's ghosted car. Like I said, lost connection. So, yeah, very unfortunate for him. And cutting on, nothing really happened, but London lap 17. There's a lot of debris just up the top there of Eau Rouge. I thought was very weird. I was hoping actually it was actually the leader, but you'll be able to see there's Captain Farah. I was wondering whether it had come from him because he looked like he was slowing, so he's now a lap car, I think, as well. So now this will probably explain it, going a little bit wide out of Eau Rouge. Didn't look too bad, but the exit part, dear. I think nearly hitting the exact same tyre barrier that Kevin Magnussen did back in, I think, 2016. He cuts the corner massively there, cops a 5-second stop-go penalty, which is just adding to his woes, really. So, and he's now serving his stop-go penalty from earlier. We had a massive corner cut on the Formula Dragster, puts on the new front wing. Another set of, set of super soft tyres, and away he goes. And now back to us, lap 18. Yeah, the gap sort of was fluctuating a little bit. But, there's more yellow flags just above Eau Rouge there. That LRT chicane was starting to pull away a little bit now. But for myself, I was still getting updates. But all of a sudden, when we were losing a 10th, we're now starting to gain a 10th. So there was really nothing between us, but the gap had really started to get bigger, really. And as you can probably tell then, might have been through Longchamp there, had the first drops of rain. So it did say it was going to come late, and I have no idea where Captain Farah's going there. But his day's not getting any better here, and getting very sideways coming out of Eau Rouge. I hope Toro Rosso brought plenty of front wings because they're going to need them, I think, as he now comes in for another pit stop. I've lost track of how many pit stops he's now had. So he puts on the soft tyres. Probably could have gone on the Ultras. I think he's now a lap or two down from memory, and away he goes. So it's just been a real shocker day, and I think it's possibly going to be his last race in AOR. But you can see now lap 20, You just see the drops of rain starting to get a little bit heavier. Did have a little lock up into turn 1 there. As you're probably well aware, there's Captain Farah just getting out of the way, so I think he's now 2 laps down in this race, but you can just tell the weather was really starting to take effect. Nearly went straight into the tyre barrier at the corner with No Name, but now it's just taking it so cautiously, because wet weather is definitely not my forte, and I have not really done much wet weather, if I'm completely honest. There's the slide going very wide through Puon. That's probably going to be an easy move for Owens there, and now up in the P5 he goes, but that battle did heat up again a little bit later on, which we'll see a bit later on, but now coming through Blanchimont. Now DLG Gamble's now left the session. Unfortunately, he did have a connection issue with his internet, so it's a real shame for Gamble, who's been really showing some good pace at the current moment, but now the gap has pretty much gone out to about 5 odd seconds, and now the wet weather really starting to take full effect here. He did rejoin DLG Gamble, but unfortunately he didn't quite work out how to take control back of his car. I think we did tell him in the Twitter chat, but going through here, and unfortunately come up a third warning, which gets a 3-second time penalty, which doesn't really help. Now, I did say this battle was going to heat up again a bit later on, so this is the Sly on the left, Owens on the right, coming into the bus stop chicane. Very late for the Sly. Was a bit of contact there, and that's not really going to work there, unfortunately, for the Sly. That was probably a gamble too risky there, and my teammates around there. Now, it does a good thing here, and he lets him back through here, which is, I think, what's the wording I should use? I don't want to make it sound weird anyway, but let's just say he did the right thing anyway. So, but now cut back to him on lap 21, and again he's run wide here at Puon. I think he's got a fair margin back to Nietzsche anyway, so he can probably afford to do it here. But now back to us coming through 16 here. Get on the curbing and have a little massive moment through here. I was just doing everything to save the car. How the hell I did not bin it into the wall there, I have absolutely no idea as Captain Farah just goes by there. But that was a heart in my mouth moment there, I can tell you. And quite literally, that could be the save of the season that could define this championship. But now about to start the final lap of this race, and the wet weather's really starting to take full effect here. But the gap now was about 10 seconds to Preetz, to LRT chicane, I should say. But this captain just pulling out of the road again. He's probably got a bit of blue flag action. So the gap behind Exodona is pretty much under a second. So I was a little bit worried at this stage, thinking that I was possibly going to lose second place and lose valuable points, especially with the battle with Zombie Hunter, championship leader at on the second last lap. I think we're going to remain on this for the remainder of the lap anyway. A little bit sideways coming out of the corner with No Name. I had no confidence going as flat as I could through Puon, but Exodona had a pretty great run coming out of that corner. Unfortunately, he didn't quite have the great exit either, so he lost a bit of ground there. Now, just look at this. We're just tippy-toeing. Me especially. I don't know if anybody else was tippy-toeing. I would assume they would. They probably have a lot more wet weather experience compared to me, but now coming up to the section which caught me out last lap, as there's the glitchy tyre barrier again. Nice online for Codemasters, but you just see Exodona's just all over my rear end, and I was sort of a bit worried I might lose. At this stage, I was pretty much certain to lose second place, even with the 3-second time penalty. But Exodona had a great run out of there. Had to lock up into the bus stop chicane, which wasn't my intention. He did try going up the inside, nearly like what the Sly did. Unfortunately, now we spun, so I think that might survive when we get second place, which I was pretty damn fortunate he did spin in the end, because that would have easily been third place and a loss of a couple of at least 3 points. But yeah, you can see there, not really doing much that was there. And yeah, he just span out himself, and I think Captain Farah pretty much finished him off there. So here comes Matt doing his best celebration to finish the race. Lovely way of doing it for him. he finishes in P8. But you see here coming through turn 18 with Formula Dragster, DRS actually got disabled literally as he was coming around that corner. But I thought really it couldn't have happened a couple of laps earlier. But here he comes. He's actually going to score his first point in AOR. So even with the kerfuffle that happened with Zombie earlier on in the race, it didn't matter too much. But there's the podium there on your screen. LRT Chicane, or Preet as he's well known, takes the win. I think a pretty dominant win in the end. Myself in second, only just, and Exodona in third. So, that was my word. That was an interesting race. Don't get me wrong. There's the rest of the results on your screen there with all the penalties involved. But like I said, good valuable points, especially since Zombie was the first retiree of this race. So that is very nice points haul for this championship. But there's the full results on your screen there. Nothing really doing. Owens in fourth, Sly, Mitchie, Gamble finished seventh. And there's the other results. Frizy, Captain Farah, and then go all the way back from Penske to Zombie with all DNFs there. And a double DNF for Renault. Not great. But championship-wise, it's now come back to about a 14-point lead, I think, from memory, over from Zombie to Owens. I'm still in third with 98. So pretty much Owens and Laggy have swapped positions, really. So constructors-wise, Ferrari have pulled out to about a 38-point gap, I think, from memory, over Renault, which is a big plus. I did count LRT Chicane's points in Haas, so, and for DLG Gamble as well, probably be fixed up for the next one because I don't think reserves points count in the actual teams event. But yeah, Williams still yet to score a point. But there we go. That is the basically the final race for AOR before the week break that we have before the next time out at the Italian Grand Prix. So if you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. Comment down below on what you thought about that race. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more league racing content on F1 2017, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. And all my social media links will be down in the description. Go give me a follow. But for the moment, guys and girls, until the Italian Grand Prix, where definitely the Ferraris will be feeling the pressure a little bit, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.